Hello, everyone. Welcome back to The Balance with Erika B, the podcast where we have honest conversations about motherhood, entrepreneurship, mental health, personal growth, and learning how to create balance through every season of life. Well, for this episode for me is going to be an extra special episode because I am joined by two incredible women behind the Honey and Bro Co. Both of them are wonderful and beautiful women. First and foremost, we got to announce that. Clock it.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. So sweet.
they are moms, business owners, and the founders of a growing children's boutique that captures the hearts with beautiful designs, premium fabrics, and products creating with families in mind. So today we're diving into their entrepreneurial journey, the lessons they learned during the first year in business, how they balance motherhood while running a company together, and we'll hear all about their exciting new collection, which I am really excited about. So without further ado, Mel and Alex, thank you so much for being here. And I'm so excited for you to have this conversation with you today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're excited too.
I'm excited to get this going. So before we dive into like the business and the journey, I love for our listeners to get to know each of you a little bit better. So my very first icebreaker that I want to talk about is tell us a little bit about yourselves.
So my name is Alex, co-founder of the Honey and Bro Co. I have a beautiful little 19, actually he'll be 19 months. Tomorrow. Little boy, TJ, who is really kind of, the inspiration behind a lot of our decision making. And before this, I was a nurse for 15 years. And once I had TJ, we decided, my husband and I decided for me to be stay-at-home mom. And then I met Mel and we decided to build a business together. So that's pretty much me.
My name is Mel. I'm a business owner and mom of 7. I've always worked with children. I've always been an entrepreneur. So this is a really exciting role for us to kind of fall into, and we're having a good time.
That is so awesome. So before becoming business owners, who were Mel and Alex outside of being business owners?
Let's see, who was I before the business? So I was, like I said, a nurse for 15 years. I was very much, I think, free-spirited. My husband and I love to travel. We love doing things with our friends, with our family. And, now being the business owner, I feel like my time is a little bit, I'm not as free, but I still feel like I'm that fun-loving person that I was before.
I think I've always been a business owner, so it's a little harder for me to answer that question. But as a person, I would say I organically like to be outdoors. I like to garden. I like to be around a campfire. Really anything outside with my kids is my kit and caboodle.
I like that. So after learning a little bit more about you ladies, what are 3 words you would use to describe each other?
Oh, that's a good one. Um, oh, this is difficult. 3 words that I would describe.
So I would say, number 1, you're fun. You're a lot of fun. I would say that. You're a little stubborn.
I am.
Just being honest there.
Definitely
but it makes for a
stubborn.
good partnership. And you're very goal driven. Extremely. Like you can't, I feel like you put something out there and you figure out how to get it done. You're very, very goal driven. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
I would say you're passionate, which I think is the same thing. I mean,
Mhm.
you kind of feel like you see something you want it. You're gonna use your passion to get there. I would say you're definitely passionate. Um, I would say you're an awesome mom.
Thank you.
She's an amazing mom to her son. He's so lucky. And I would say a good person, just really good-hearted person.
Thank you.
I'm proud to have her as a business partner. You're welcome.
I like that. I love that. And I'm so excited for the listeners to start hearing about the story behind the Honey and Bro Co. Because what inspired you to start the Honey and Bro Co?
So you started about a year ago.
Yeah,
Well, a little over a year
yeah,
ago.
a little over a year ago. I work as a postpartum doula. So I see
Mhm.
a lot of newborns, a lot of families maybe first time parents with babies. I see a lot of struggle there with dressing the baby or what to put the baby in, what types of
Mhm.
materials. I've definitely seen my share of trials and tribulations through that. So that's kind of what had me
Mhm.
start. My daughters kind of jumped on board with me, and it was just kind of like a hobby type of business. We were really
Mhm.
having fun with it, doing it in my spare time. Not that there was much, but and that's where it really started. I like to
Okay.
say that when Alex came is when we really started to see the growth, which is so cool.
So Mel was actually my postpartum doula, and that's how we met.
Yeah.
So I had
Oh,
my
that's
son,
so
and
cool.
yeah. So I had my son, and he was not sleeping at all. And my husband and I we were going crazy. We were just completely exhausted. So I found Mel, and she came and she took care of my son, a few nights a week,
Mhm.
and it allowed time for, my husband and I to sleep. So that was she completely saved our life, completely. And we just
That
hit it
is
off.
awesome.
And yeah, yeah. And a few months after she started the boutique, she reached out to me, and we
Mhm.
connected, and decided that, we wanted to grow the business and
Mhm.
see where we could take it. And as soon as I came on, I feel like we would, see the clothes, and me as a new mom, I was figuring out what was working for my son in terms of material and clothes, and
Mhm.
what was best for his skin, everything like that.
Mhm.
And we just found that there were very little, pretty much, I mean, really very rarely was there a company that made outfits that checked every box. So, we said, well, we're doing this, we're reselling clothes, so why don't we try to do something of our own? Let's make our own
Mhm.
brand, let's make our own line. And, that's what we started to do.
Yeah, I think it was
I love
important too
that.
that we had that resale time too, because that helped us see what customers were buying. And it also helped us
Mhm.
see what other brands were putting out firsthand. So we were able to actually see, okay, this brand is doing this, but this brand's not doing this. And able to put that to kind of help our growth with making our
Hmm.
own.
Like that because there's not a lot of companies that take their time in reference to seeing like what kind of fabric or what kind of the links that they go through in reference to seeing about what kind of styles and different materials. You got to think about the sizing, you got to think about the pricing, you got to think about
Hmm.
so many different things. And I understand firsthand because I had tried doing the t-shirt thing. And I mean, I
Hmm.
like doing t-shirts, but overall, podcasting is so much fun. So much
Oh, this
fun
is so
doing
fun.
podcast. It's
Yeah.
so much fun. It's so rewarding. And so, was there anything that surprised you within the first year of doing the business together?
I think what surprised me is, I assumed that working with manufacturers, in my
Mhm.
opinion, I thought every manufacturer was going to be perfect. And we would order samples, and we would get the samples in with our designs and materials, and they were not good. Some of them
Mhm.
were not good. And to me, I didn't realize, I think, what went into manufacturing itself. I thought
Okay.
it was going to be a lot simpler and easier than what it actually was.
Yeah, essentially we had to shop for manufacturers
Yeah.
as much as we had to our actual product.
Yeah. And it takes so much time from your first idea to when you get your first sample to when you can actually launch a line.
Yeah, a lot more time than we ever
Hmm.
could imagine.
Yeah.
We're thinking like a 6-month time frame, right, from start
Mhm.
to end. So that is definitely something I don't think we were,
Expecting.
yeah,
And
expecting.
sometimes
Yeah,
sometimes longer.
yeah,
Sometimes it's 8 to 10 months.
absolutely.
And that's something that surprised me, how
That was
difficult it
that's
was to
very
find,
interesting.
yeah, to find a manufacturer.
And so it took you guys a while to find like that perfect match for your
Yeah, and we're
clothing brand,
still
correct?
we're still working. Yeah, and we're still sampling different manufacturers.
Yeah, we're
They
learning that
yeah.
different manufacturers have different strengths and
Mhm.
weaknesses. Some
Mhm.
specialize in different materials or blends more than another one, or a certain fabric maybe that they specialize in. So Yeah, we're
Mhm.
still learning that.
And owning a business, it's so many different learning curves, like especially growing within a business. So what was the biggest challenge as business owners that you've had to face? I would say maybe within this year or maybe in the past years.
I think for us it was inventory. We started out really, I think we overbought when we started the resale boutique. We definitely overbought. We didn't want to run out of certain things. We wanted to have stock all the time, and we made a lot of mistakes and poured a lot of money into things that weren't necessarily popular among parents and kids. I think we wanted a lot of variety, and we put too much into the variety. There was, I mean, we still have a lot of stock that we have to move, and that was definitely our biggest mistake starting out.
And the sometimes learning from that mistake makes the vision come to life a little bit more and make things a little bit
Hmm.
perfect. So were there any um difficult days that you had to face in growing with the business together? Were there things that you guys kind of like divide responsibilities while still working well together?
Yes, we initially started out with deciding we were just going to share everything. All the responsibilities were going to be 50-50 shared. And I think over time, we naturally fell into our roles for the company. Like now, I
Mhm.
tend to do more with design and manufacturing, and Melissa does a little bit more with community outreach. And she's very good at that. And so I kind of let her. I think we both understand that we bring certain things to the table, and we kind of give each other the freedom to do what we're strong at.
I think that's cool when you're sharing something like that with another partner. As you can see with me, I'm a one woman show on a podcast,
Mhm.
so I do
It's hard.
Mhm.
everything. And it is hard because sometimes you have to make the decisions on what fits the mode of your business, like whether it's writing a book or doing a clothing business, for example, or even doing a podcast. Sometimes you have to make those difficult decisions sometimes
Mhm.
where you guys, for example, can talk to one another and say, hey, this may not work today, or this may not work with the company, or this brand may not work well with the manufacturing. On the other
Mhm.
hand, like for myself, it's like I have to single handedly think about what I don't want to say what benefits because that's not the right word or term to use, but what would shape into a person coming on to a podcast, so to speak.
Mhm.
Or, for example, when I was doing my t-shirts for like my daughter, for example, I had to figure out what's the right clothing for her, the material so she doesn't get, itchy or, stuck in that
Right.
material. Or what if she doesn't even like it? And she's very opinionated, by the way. She will tell me that she
Makes
doesn't
that
like
part
it.
easy, I'm sure.
It makes that part easy, definitely for sure. And she also teaches me about how she'll look at me design something or look at me cut something. She's like, "Mom, I just don't think that's right." And she will literally
Aw.
be like,
Kids will
"Hey,
be
cut that out."
honest.
They will, yeah.
Kids will absolutely
They
be
will.
If you
honest.
wanna know the truth, ask the
Yeah.
kids.
Ask the kids and they will humble you. So I absolutely understand about making the decisions and especially going through those difficult days where sometimes you may not be able to give your 100%, but at least you give half of your 100% when you're not having a good day, those type of things.
Exactly.
Are there any accomplishments that you guys are proud of in regards to growing your business?
Yeah, I mean, I think starting from, resale and just in about a year being able to launch our own line, I
Mhm.
think that's huge. I think I think we should be very proud of ourselves for that.
And I feel like we
You
really try to say that and remind ourselves that daily because every time we
Me
have
too.
a setback, I kind of have to say, "Hey, let's say it out loud. Our growth has been amazing. We've had an amazing
Mhm.
year. We've come so far. We should
Mhm.
be proud." And make sure we speak those positive words.
Yeah, and Melissa told me the other day you were at a dance class, I think, with your daughter,
Mhm.
and she heard overheard somebody talk about the Honey and Broco, and we were like, wait a minute, someone knows who we are, like outside of us,
Yeah.
talking about it or us being at
Mhm.
a pop up event or something like that. So just
Mhm.
hearing somebody say our name I mean, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was very exciting.
I think I think that's such a cool moment because then you're looking like, how did you find me?
I know.
Right.
Right.
Where did
Yeah.
you
Right.
Yeah. It
find
makes you
me?
think like, oh,
And
the
that's
work
what it
we're putting in
is.
is
Right.
working
Right.
somewhere, somehow,
And it's
Right.
which is so
what
cool.
you guys are doing is working because your website, I looked at it and it's stunning. It's beautiful. It's a
Thank
beautiful
you. She
website,
makes fun of me
Brenda.
I
because
do.
I obsess over it.
She
I
does.
obsess over it and I make changes on all the time. And
Which is why it's
she
amazing. But yeah, I pick on her all the time
she
because
does.
she'll go in and change every little bit to make it absolutely perfect. So when someone says our website is perfect, it is no doubt.
It
It's
it
leave her
is
alone.
because when I looked at it, I was like, this is so cool. I was like, this is really I was like, because I like doing like the graphics and all that stuff behind the scenes and
Hmm.
stuff. So you'll probably see that later. But I love doing the graphics and stuff. I think it's so cool because you, like I said, you can
It's
bring the
fun.
vision to life. It's
Right,
fun and
exactly,
it's
exactly. It's fun and it gives you a way to, I think show what we're about before,
mhm.
somebody buys the clothes and actually, has them in their hand. It gives like a little preview of kind of who we are.
Yeah, because like another thing that I really liked about you guys' business is about the core values that you guys have while building around quality products that families can trust. So, with those core values, what core values guide every decision that you guys make?
Our roots are very important to us. Where we started, we don't want to become blind to that by any means. So, again, it's one of those
Mhm,
things we kind of speak into our everyday. Community is very important to us. We want to make sure that we are always, being a part of the community, outreach to the community, charity through the community. That's all very important to
mhm,
us. Family, we want to make sure that we always family first for both of
Hmm.
us. It's very important that what this career, like I said, we work a lot of hours, right? More than a 9 to 5 would, but we're able to
mhm,
still be moms first, and that's
Yeah.
super important to us. Um, and supporting other small businesses. Not that we have to outsource often, but when we do, it is
mhm.
important to us that we outsource to other small businesses, women-owned businesses, mother-owned businesses, whenever possible. That's really important to us.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
for us involving our children as much as we actually can.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm,
our kids they test our samples. So
Yeah.
they wear everything, they kind of tell us her kids, my son can't really give his opinion yet, but her kids will. So they tell us what they like, what they don't like. So we really try to involve our families as much as we can.
I like that. That's what I'm saying. I really like the brand because the way you guys
Thank you.
incorporate the family structure to everything is
Hmm.
it's you don't see that often, and especially
Right.
Yeah, we're real. We're real.
where
Yeah,
And we
we're
want
real.
mhm,
And, we
yeah,
use our own
because
children as models. Our kids are
and
on the
I like
website.
that.
Our cousin,
Mhm.
our family members or, their kids are on the website. So we really try to make it all about family and community.
And that's what I like because when I was looking again like at your website, I was like, it has so much of a family and a homey
Hmm.
home kind of feel. You bring it back to that root of this is a family, this is a family business, this is a home, and
Hmm.
that's what it feels like. So, what do you hope families feel when they do receive a Honey and Bro Co package from you guys?
We hope they feel the love. I mean, we wrap and package everything
Hmm.
ourselves. We are the customer
Mhm.
service. We answer every email, every phone call ourselves. There's no team. It's
It's
us.
just us two.
Everything
Mhm.
passes through our hands. Everything is inspected by us. Everything is tried and tested through us. So we put a lot of our heart into those packages that they would receive.
That's cool. So, is there any other values that you would like to state or share with the customer experience of it all with the Honey and Bro Co?
I think for us, charity is a big thing. I know we did mention that, as one of our foundations and core values, but we are
Mhm,
involved with a charity right now, and we're getting involved with a couple more. So that's something, if as our business grows, um,
mhm.
we can give back more, and that's really what we want to do.
Yeah.
That's very important to us. So charity is a big part of what we want the customer base to understand. We're not taking the money and just putting it in our pockets. We're actually giving back to the community, so we want that to really be felt. by the customers.
I love that you guys are in foundations, because foundations it's a good place to start that I
Hmm.
learned from. And sometimes networking is another cool thing. It's so cool to hear when somebody says they hear about your business, or they hear that the quality of your product is so good. So it's also kind of like in reference to finding the balance in your business. So of course, like I say, this podcast is about balance. So how do you balance motherhood with running a growing business?
We are definitely moms first. That's super important to us. So
Hmm.
whenever one of our kids needs something, we can kind of help the other person, fill in their role kind of as they tend to what they need to, because that'll always come first. I mean, last week
Hmm.
my daughter popped a bracket on her braces, and I had to run to an ortho appointment, and she was able to jump in and
Hmm.
fulfill orders for me that day. So we're able to kind of really help each other in those roles. And also balance as in including our children, so it doesn't feel that we have to make 1 hour for the business and 1 hour for being a mom. We
We don't have
can,
to
Hmm.
choose.
yeah, we don't have to choose, which
Yeah,
is really cool.
we can do both. And I mean, it's still stressful. I mean, I only have one, so I can't
Hmm.
imagine the stress that Melissa has with seven. But even with one, it is difficult it can be difficult to find a balance. And we have to rely on our family for help. I have my
Hmm.
in-laws, I have my parents that, they're willing to help, but that doesn't take the place of me as the mother. So,
Hmm.
whenever I get, a minute with my son, I can really focus on that. So it's definitely a balancing act. It is. It is. And
And
it's not always
it
easy, and it's not always perfect.
is. That is true. And it does take a village to really
It
help
does.
with motherhood.
Absolutely.
Because when I tell you, I was looking at every book, I was like, where's the book? Where's the manual?
There is
And I
none.
was like, I don't know.
There
And
is
there
none.
is none. And once I realized that there wasn't a book to being a mom, I was like, okay, you have to learn this firsthand. And the coolest thing
Hmm.
is I always like to ask my mom, like, hey, where were you in this time when you had me? Because history is repeating itself. And now,
Hmm.
me being a mom and seeing my daughter the age that I was when, just being shy of being a little preteen, I'm kind of like, oh dear, we're starting. We're about to hit what I'm calling is the attitude era, is what I'm about to hear. And so my mom always tells me, like, hey, just be patient, try to make a safe space, try to make sure you have that support through those tough seasons, because it's not easy. It's not easy being a parent where you wake up at the crack of dawn and you're ending
Hmm.
when the sun goes down. So how do you guys support each other through seasons where it's stressful, or through seasons where maybe one person's maybe giving that 100%, the other one may not have that 100% for that day?
I mean, I feel like we kind of naturally allow each other to have that space. I
Hmm.
think because we both understand that we are moms first,
Yeah.
and we know that we each love this business so much. We
Hmm.
know that if we give each other that space, that we're going to get, the support back from the other person, I guess. It's just, I don't know, I find that it just flows easily with that. I
Yeah, we
don't
don't
know.
really
I
have to
mean,
pencil it in. I think
no.
we pick up where, one might be slacking, and just pick up the slack when we can. And, even if we, as an operation as a whole, if we have to pause it for a day or so to collect ourselves,
Hmm.
we do what we have to do to be mothers first.
Yeah, we I think we're very good about coordinating our schedule. Like, Melissa still works full time as a doula, so if we have to meet at 6 o'clock in the morning here, we will. As she's
She
coming
hates
off
me
of a
for that.
shift, I do, but we
Hmm.
make it work.
We make it work.
I understand that she just worked at a whole shift, and she has to get home, but we still need to tackle some things here, so I make it work to accommodate her schedule and vice versa. So I feel like
I
that
like
part has
I
been
like
pretty
them.
easy for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And shout out to the doulas, okay? Because we need we need
I would
doulas.
not be okay if I didn't have Melissa.
Oh man, I wish if I can rewind time and somebody said, "Hey, Erica, don't get an OB and get a doula," I think
Mhm.
a lot of things would have moved really smoothly versus
Everybody
having
needs a
an
doula.
OB. I
Everybody
feel
needs one.
like, yes, everybody needs one because I've learned so much with my sister right now. She's in with my niece. My niece is 6, 7 months now. And
Aw.
I get so excited because I'm like, what are you doing? Like I can see the night and day between my nephew and my niece. And I just talked to her the other day and I said, hey girl. She said, hi. I said, wait, did she say hi to me? And
Aw,
so
that's so
and
cute.
so me and my sister looked at each other,
Aw.
and my sister was like, she did say
Yeah.
hi. And so she's like
That's so
coming up to the
cute.
camera. I said, okay, girl, we got a
Aw.
conversation. Titi love you. And so I was
Aw.
like so happy that the fact that she said hi to me, I was like, oh, you know
Aw.
me. I love you. So
Aw.
it was the coolest thing. And then she was like, bye. I was like, wait a minute. You just went by out of nowhere. So,
Melting hearts over there.
it's melting the hearts. And I was like, I don't know, but I've learned so much about the challenges of having an OB versus a doula. And I do put a lot of respect on doulas because doulas do a lot. They do a lot. I've learned a lot that they do. And I appreciate all your services as a doula. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. So, what advice would you give, let's say, for another mom that is just afraid to start her own business?
I would say lead with passion. I feel like that has always turned to success for me. If there's something you're
Hmm.
passionate about, something that you know you can do well, if you start with that, I feel like it naturally will
Hmm.
grow.
I think for
Okay.
me, I would really stress not to compare yourself to another business. It's difficult to know how that business got started and, the things that they had to go through to get to where they are. And
Hmm.
I think people just see a big successful business and they say, well, I can't do that. I could never be there. But
Hmm.
every business had to start somewhere.
Yep.
So for me, it's don't compare yourself to the point where, you get discouraged and you choose not to move forward with something. Just try it.
I like just try it and see.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing we need to do is try and see. Everything's a learning curve. You got to
Yes.
Hmm.
start somewhere, like you said, because without learning those difficult moments or without learning those unend ties that to a business, you'll never know how it could explore to different avenues and different opportunities. So I
Yep.
completely agree with you
Absolutely.
guys about not
Absolutely.
comparing. It took a while for me to understand not to compare because I was like, man, it's so many different podcasts, so many different genres. And I was like,
Hmm.
am I gonna fit into the mold? Am I gonna fit in? And now
Yeah. Thief of
I
joy.
kind of
It really is.
I've been
Yeah, and
it's
it's
an
not
enjoyment.
about fitting in necessarily. It's about finding what works best for you and still being
Hmm.
yourself.
Mhm.
You don't want to be like
Yeah.
everybody else.
Yeah.
That's the
Important to be
thing.
authentic. Yeah.
And I think that's the thing where I started learning about when I was looking and doing my own research about podcasting. I finally kind of came into the mode of everyone's different and my podcast is different from everybody else.
Hmm.
It's not about um now I could talk about anything I want to talk about, but I was so in a box about being a mom and sharing mom things all the time
Hmm.
because I was like, well, there's other moms going through this at a first time. And so now I get to talk about whatever I want. So I
Yeah, yeah, you get to do
not
anything.
Yeah,
putting
it's
yourself
you.
in that box, it's a cool thing. So I want to enter into another layer of the podcast where I would love to hear about your new products and give a highlight to your products. So how
Hmm.
do you pronounce it? Is it Zoluna?
So we have two different fabrics that we're really diving into. So we have Soluna and we
Hmm.
have it's called Zinza.
Zinza. Okay.
So these are two different fabrics that we're using for our pajamas right now.
So
Yeah,
what
these are our premium
inspired?
blends.
I like that. What inspired these names for Zoluna?
So I think Soluna, what is really night and day, and I mean, my 3-year-old would live in pajamas 24/7 if allowed.
Mhm.
So I think that was an important part behind the name is she really could, wear them to bed, but also, wear them to the couch or to the playroom or, outside
Mhm.
on her tricycle. Um, they're very versatile. You could wear them day and night. So that's where that name came from.
And then the name Zinza was actually a nickname that I gave myself when I was little. I couldn't say my name, and so I just for some reason started calling myself Zinza, and that's a nickname that my family still calls me. So, we were trying to come up with something that was unique, and that stood out and that wasn't like any other name. And I said, you know what?
Mhm.
Why don't I just make this, like me? So, this is part of this brand is part me. So why don't I just
Mhm.
use my name? So that's where that nickname came or that name came from, my nickname growing up.
The names of the collection because it got me excited about, like I said, my niece. She's about 6, 7 months at this point.
Yeah.
And so for me, I want to know which collection are each of you most excited about?
I kind of think we both are excited about Zinza. It's
Mhm.
it's eucalyptus. Saloon is bamboo, and bamboo is huge right now with parents.
Okay.
Bamboo has such great qualities to it. It's
Mhm.
great for sensitive skin. It's great for temperature regulation. There's so many benefits to it. And now
Okay.
we're seeing similar benefits with eucalyptus. And I think that
Mm.
the durability of eucalyptus kind of outweighs bamboo a little bit, and it
Mhm.
just brings a different fit and a different drape, and you can wear it a little bit differently. And so I think that because the eucalyptus blends haven't really been explored as much, I
Mhm.
think we're very excited for that.
Yeah, it's definitely an up and
Yeah,
coming
we're
fabric.
excited to see where we can take that. What other garments that we can design with it, what other blends we can use with eucalyptus. I think that for me anyway, that's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, I think what we've done so far with the two trademarks has been amazing. Those blends are something that we
Mhm.
feel are premium to our competitors. They definitely
Mhm.
elevate the game in bamboo and eucalyptus. And then we're really excited for possibly next year starting to work into a cotton line. So we're exploring all
Ooh.
kinds of
Okay.
cottons, yeah, and
Mhm,
blends there. So we're in the manufacturing stage of that, but that should be out soon too. Our heirloom line.
mhm.
We're super excited about that.
I'm super excited for you guys because I was just about to ask, like, what is next for the Honey and Bro Co?
Yeah, I think we really want to focus on that hospital to home line. It's
Mhm.
it's a big deal for parents to bring a newborn home. And we want to
Mhm.
create outfits, and that will really turn into memories,
Yeah.
new announcement photos, newborn photos,
Mhm.
take home outfits. That's really what we really want to see that. Mel loves newborns.
Yes,
She,
yes.
Mhm.
that's
I
her
know how
passion, that's her
important
business.
those outfits are to new families, bringing those babies home in those outfits. And it's really cool when you have
Oh.
an outfit that's durable enough to be worn several times and then passed down to maybe another sibling
Mhm,
or maybe a
Mhm.
grandchild to more of that heirloom quality. We see Leia a lot in newborn, right? Like you'll see a lot of sets and things like
Mhm.
that. So we're kind of really eyeing that up for the cotton
mhm.
game and kind of seeing what we can do there for that.
That's exciting because like the newborn stage is such a beautiful stage. Not saying not every stage is a beautiful stage. All stages are. But the
Right.
newborn stage is, if I can go back to
Yeah.
the newborn stage, I would probably go back to the newborn stage and learn not to say, "Hey, I can't wait for her to walk and talk." And then because once I said that, I was like, "Oh no, she's already walking." And then um, I think the other stage for me was the little toddler stage, going from 3 to
Mhm.
5, because I was like, "I don't want you to grow up." I was like, "I'm not
Yeah.
ready."
Yeah.
I was like, "You're like my best friend. Like, you're at the touch of my hip, like, you're attached with me, you know?" And so me and her go back into her little pictures and sometimes, and I'm like, "Can we have another you?" But then he gives
Aw.
me a run for my money, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do baby number 2." But, I commend a lot of moms for going out there and doing businesses, and it teaches women to know that you can still be a mom and still run a business. You can still be a mom and still work on redefining who you are in yourself. So,
Yeah.
where do you hope the business will be in 5 years from now?
Ooh.
5 years.
I hope that the business is worldwide. I want to be able to say that we can dress a baby from the time, they're born,
Mhm.
to the time they're off going to kindergarten, I think, and maybe even beyond that, who knows where that'll take us. But I want to be somebody's favorite brand is where what I think I want to be in 5 years. Not necessarily the biggest, but I want to be a favorite
Mhm.
brand.
I like that. What do you think, Mel? What do you see 5 years from now about your brand?
I think we really see growth, just growth in general. So maybe
Mhm.
not something that could be measured by any
Mhm.
particular number or volume.
Mm.
It's important to
Mhm.
us, like I said, that our roots are really established and that our connections to our community and our core values are super, super solid, right? Before we grow any harder.
Mhm.
But I think growth is important. I think we have to just keep climbing and keep, putting our best foot forward and keep putting our heart and soul into this business. And hopefully our customers can see that and, appreciate the value of that alone. And hopefully we continue to grow.
I like that. I think I can see 5 years from now, I do see that you guys are going to flourish into more states and getting more worldwide. I like to manifest a lot. So my manifestation is
Yeah.
hopefully I could see you guys in a Target or in a Walmart or
Yep.
in
So
other
That would be
little
that's
cool.
small boutiques. So that's my
yes.
manifestation for you guys. So
I love it.
before
Thank
we,
you.
you're welcome. Before we wrap up, I'm going to do a rapid fire with you ladies. And I'm so excited because
Oh
I
no.
like to play a little game towards the end. She said, "Oh no," towards the end of the episode. It's nothing bad, I promise. So my first question would be coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee. I love tea, but coffee first.
Coffee.
Okay. Morning person or a night owl?
Night owl.
I prefer mornings.
Okay.
Yep.
What is a favorite print you've released that you like so far?
For me, it's the boardwalk print.
I would have to say one of our first prints are our duck print.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you like
royal
the duck
ducks.
print. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about a favorite part of owning a business?
The flexibility, I think, to still be able to be a mom.
Yeah, I think
I like that.
being
Yeah.
proud of what we're building because we're building it.
Mhm.
Okay. What is the biggest mom hack?
I don't know. Can someone tell me?
Where's that book?
Where is the book? Okay.
I would
Do
say
you
just
guys,
not taking anything too serious.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
just
You
have
can't take
fun.
have fun.
Yeah.
yeah, just
Have
have
fun.
fun and just take in the little moments, I think would be
That's it.
the
Yeah.
biggest mom hack for me. What is, or maybe a possible dream collaboration that you guys want to manifest into?
I don't know if we've ever visited
Collaboration. I think
collaborations.
for me it would be
Mhm.
probably Disney. I would love to be able to collaborate with Disney.
That would be cool. You guys,
Yeah.
Disney, if you hear
I
this,
would love it. I would absolutely love it. And
tap
we're Disney
in,
people,
Disney,
so
tap in. I love Disney. I love
yeah, so do I.
I love Disney to the T. It's almost scary because besides Disney, I like Harry Potter, and it's
Okay.
Do
scary.
you?
I love Harry Potter. And I think I've gotten my daughter into Harry Potter because I'll turn it on and I'll see it on the TV. I'm like, yep, this is on all day. Leave me alone. And then she'll
Yep.
look at me like, Mom, like, what is weird? Like, and then she'll walk out the room and then she'll come back and she's like, okay, I want to cuddle with you and watch Harry Potter. So I think Harry Potter would be a Harry Potter collection.
That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. It would be.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be cool. What's one word that describes your partnership?
Fun.
Easy.
I like that.
Yeah,
And then
definitely
what
easy.
does balance mean to you today?
I think making sure that we are able to be great business owners and great moms. The balance there, I think, is super important.
Okay.
I think for me, it's
All
just
right.
surviving the day. It's just as long as I come out of the day
Yeah.
okay,
It's
then
a win.
Look,
it's a win, and
we
that
gotta
means
we
that
gotta
we're gonna have
survive.
yeah.
We gotta thrive and survive because that's surviving is tough being a mom. It's challenging sometimes. That's where the coffee comes in. Because when the coffee
Yes, the
comes
all
in,
day
then
coffee.
everything
Yes.
gets the ball
Fuel.
rolling.
Yes.
So before we wrap up, ladies, where can listeners shop the Honey and Bro Co. and where can everyone follow you online?
So you can shop us on our website. It's thehoneyandbroco.com. And we actually created a special discount code for your listeners. So if you use code Erica15 at checkout, you get 15% off your
Mhm.
order. And we do offer free shipping on all orders of $55 and over. But you can find us on every social media platform. We're on uh, Instagram, Facebook,
Mhm.
TikTok, and it's at the Honey and Bro Co.
Yeah, check us out
Well,
and
you,
feel free to reach out. We check our own
Yeah,
DMs and emails.
we check all of
I
our
mean,
DMs
we love
and
the chat. So definitely,
yeah.
nobody hesitate to reach out. We're here.
and we just launched our Halloween line, so that is
Ooh.
available for pre-order. So we're
Yeah.
super excited about that. And then fall is going to be launching in the next couple of weeks too.
I am so excited. First and foremost, thank you for letting me be a part of this, of your discount code in your business. So I
Absolutely.
will
Well, thank you for having
forever
us.
be grateful. You're welcome. And then also, of course, I'm going to be sharing holla holla in reference to your business, because I am on all platforms. So of course I'll start following right away. Lastly, is there one piece of encouragement you like to leave with moms or inspiring entrepreneurs that's listening to this episode today?
For moms, you're doing a good job. I think that we need to remind ourselves that we're doing a good job. And I think that for me, I know I doubted myself a lot, especially in the newborn phase.
Mhm.
But I just want to remind everybody, every mom out there that you are doing a good job.
Yeah, and as an entrepreneur, your kids are looking up to you. They really are. They think you're the most amazing thing in the world. So, don't take that lightly. That's pretty cool stuff.
All right, ladies. Well, Mel and Alex, thank you so much for joining me today. I love hearing your story and learning more about the heart behind the Honey and Bro Co. I know our listeners are leaving inspired by your journey, your commitment to quality, and a reminder that building a business and raising a family can go hand in hand. So, to everyone, be sure to check out the Honey and Bro Co. Explore their beautiful lines of collections. I am so excited because, like I said, my niece, she needs to get some honey and bro, okay? And show them some love on social media. Thank you for tuning in to the Balance Boss. Oh, hold on. With Erika B. If today's episode encouraged you, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share the episode if you can use a little inspiration. Until next time, remember that balance isn't about being perfect. It's about giving yourself grace while becoming a person you were meant to be. I always say, again, you guys, welcome to the shit show at this point. Okay. And take care, and I'll see you on the next episode of The Balance with Erika B. Bye, guys.
Bye.